Commander, the Lords of Amaranthine have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens. These were Al Rendenhau's vassals. Now they will be yours. Some of these lords bore Rendon no love, but others had their prospects ruined with his demise. Tread carefully, Commander. Lords and ladies, I present the Warden Commander of Ferelden and Arl of Amaranthine.
Commander.
Ban Esmeralda of Amaranthine. As is old custom, you have the honor of beginning.
I promise that I, Ban Esmeralda, will be faithful to the Arl in matters of life, limb, and earthly honor. Never will I bear arms against her or her heirs. So I say, in the sight of the Maker.
I promise that I, Lord Edelbreck...
And so, the ceremony is complete.
Long live the Warden Commander!
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean. There's really only two who can offer real support in the war. Lord Edelbreck, master of the Firavel Plains, controls more farmland than anyone else. He's powerful and popular. Ban Esmeralda rules the city. Wealthiest in the room by far. She may not be loved, but she cannot be ignored.
Honored to meet you, Warden Commander. You come to us during desperate times.
Not more about your precious farms, Edelbreck.
Some in our Arling do not have the comfort of city walls. On the plains, the situation is dire. As we feast, the peasants on our lands are starving, or worse.
The city's defenses are more important, Edelbreck.
There may be wheat in the silos now, but if the farmers die...
I see that Lord Edelbreck wastes no time in canvassing you for soldiers to defend his farms. Do not be deceived, Commander. His livelihood is all he cares about. Amaranthine is the jewel of the Arling, and she must be protected. Amaranthine was built over generations. If she falls, then this great Arling will be diminished.
Wealth is well and good, but what measure do you put to human life? The folk in the country outnumber your city dwellers many times over.
I would not be so vulgar as to violate the decorum of this event. Commander?
Warden Commander, we've all heard so much about you. So many good things, unbelievable things. But many of your deeds cost people here a chance at great advancement. So many fortunes were deeply intertwined with the old Arl. Some nobles here, they seek to end your dominion over them.
Do you know the conspirators? The right of high justice is yours, and treachery is a capital offense. You could invite a member of each of the noble families to stay as prolonged guests. And if anything untoward happens, well, you get the picture. This is a terribly Orlesian thing to do. No idea, honestly. Somewhere in the foreign quarter of Amaranthine is all I know. You need to head to the city then, and chase down a ghost. Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean. As you wish, Commander. Clear the hall. The Commander has business to attend to.
Yes.
Ah, it's the Warden Commander. The rumors about you did not overstate it. I have a business proposal. Look for me by the house near the gates. I promise it will be worthwhile.
They used to display the heads
I've
of
no money,
traitors
no
over
home.
that gate.
I don't know how I'll survive.
I suppose my father is lucky his didn't end up there.
Looking for some company, honey pie? I'm always available for riveting conversations with fine women. Oh, here to investigate the chasm, are you? It's about time. I can't take all the credit for finding the rift, you know. Mika here fell in first. Oh, the chasm, yes. We saw it coming over our eyes. It was really something to behold. A huge cleft, as though the Maker himself had cracked the earth in two, like an egg.
I like eggs.
It looked like someone had tried to build over it, but it must have been abandoned a long time ago. No one in town knew about it. We got lucky. They seemed occupied, like they had someplace really important they had to be. Didn't notice us at all, thank the Maker.
The Darkspawn was so occupied as to overlook 2 screaming injured men. Boggles the mind.
I marked the chasm on my map so we could avoid it, but sounds like you want to know where it is, so here you go. So, we getting anything for our trouble? Thanks. This'll get me good and drunk at the inn. Take my mind off the trouble out there.
Very well.
Ah, can you smell that? That is the smell of freedom. It comes complete with the smell of dogs and dust, but the freedom is in there too. I may not have a choice about fighting the Darkspawn, but this is a step up for me. I escaped from the tower 7 times. After the last time, they put me in solitary confinement for a year. Eventually, I'm sure they would have branded me a Maleficar, true or not, and executed me. All things considered, I think I'd rather be a dwarf. All I want is a pretty girl, a decent meal, and the right to shoot lightning at fools.
Have you ever thought...
Ah, Warden Commander. I knew you'd come. You know an opportunity when it presents itself, no? I offer a partnership that would benefit us both. The bartender at a local inn has overstepped his bounds. He was hired to watch one of the entrances to our den, but now seeks to extort more coin. Terrible, isn't it? A person of your influence would have no trouble convincing him to open the passage. Return to me when this is done. Why won't you let us in? The Darkspawn are coming!
It's the constable's orders. There's no place for you in the city.
Well, they don't look infected. And he has children.
Look, we let some in, we'll have the rest scratching at our eyes. No
I
exceptions.
hear there's a boat
Make
leaving
us
for
spit on you,
Orlais.
you heartless
If only I
bastard!
could afford to buy passage.
My pardon, sir. I was paid a whole sovereign to give this letter to you. I told him I did. There are easier ways of getting a message to the Commander of the Grey. Some visiting knight didn't catch his face. Full helmet, you know. He said he was Sir Wolf of Rivain. Ah, the Dark Wolf's nothing but a rumour. Mind you, he was acting suspicious. Of course, Commander.
Excuse me, but I need to search your packs for smuggled goods. Thank you. I will make this quick.
What are you doing, man? Are you accusing the Commander of the Grey of smuggling?
But you said everyone...
You are dismissed. I apologize. Smugglers and thieves have all but taken over the city. Yes, Warden Commander. The smugglers have us scrambling, to be honest. Smugglers have moved in, selling stolen goods at exorbitant prices. If we could shut down their operation and seize their supplies, we could distribute it to the needy. There is a smuggler doing business in the market. He probably knows where the hideout is. We haven't been able to get anything from him, but maybe you can.
Greetings, could I interest you in, Wait a minute. My lad said they saw you talking to the... You'll learn not to stick your nose where it don't belong.
If anyone can get rid of the smugglers, it's the Grey Wardens.
With trade halted, I can't get my silks from Denerim. It's just awful.
Warden Commander! Thank the Maker you're finally here. I was afraid our messages never got through to you. Yes. Thank you for coming to the Guild. We need your help. Our caravans are being attacked. The wagons are burnt to ashes, and there have been no survivors. It's gotten worse lately. People from the neighbouring villages have found guards torn limb from limb and left in the village square. I suppose I have to be content with that. It is better than nothing. If you can stop the killings, the Merchants Guild will make a hefty donation to your organisation. You have my promise.
Greetings, Warden Commander. You're the sort who delights in helping the common man, yes? May I direct you to the Merchants Guild's board? Me? No, not me, personally. Folk here often need goods from far-flung parts. They post the requests here. There is good coin in this, particularly with trade halted by the trouble on the roads. If you ever feel inclined, please take a look at the jobs available.
Well.
I see you got my letter, Commander. It's an honor to meet you. In the flesh. The less you know of me, the better. But by some, I am called the Dark Wolf. In the depths of the city, there is murmuring. Murmuring that nobles want you dead. I'd like to help. You see, I have hopes that the Wardens will prove more fit to rule this land than the late Arl Rendon Howe. His confederates are the conspirators. But to unearth their identities, I'll need resources. 50 sovereigns. Corrupt, miserly nobles have beggared many a proud commoner. Some commoners turn to distasteful occupations just to survive. Is it not fitting that they would want to strike back in the only way they're able? It will be done. Give me some time.
That's a strange place to store a pitchfork.
That was a surprise.
Okay, yes. I think I do see why.
Oi, about time you showed up.
Nemea, you're still here.
I keep my promises. Here, turns out you were right. The cache is here in Amaranthine.
It is? You found it?
I did. What you do with that information is up to you. I, for one, am done dealing with mages. Word of advice, don't let him sweet-talk you. He's very good at that.
I guess I should thank you.
Damned right you should. You get caught, Anders, I'm not helping you again. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose that requires some explanation. Do I detect a note of jealousy? Nemea is a friend. Last time I escaped from the tower, I asked her to look into some things. That's why I was in Amaranthine. The Templars thought I'd come to take a ship, but it was to meet her. I know we're busy killing Darkspawn and all, but the sooner we find this vial, the better I'll feel. All things considered, I'd rather be sitting in a tavern.
It is begun.
Something I can do for you, friend? And who are you supposed to be that's asking? A dwarf? Truly? Well, I suppose I... Well, never mind that. Haven't seen that fellow Christoph for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while. Not much. He chatted up Sorsha a bit when she brought him his dinner. Maybe talked to her. Of course. Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
What can I get for you, friend?
It shall be done.
Nothing to wet your whistle, stranger. We chatted a bit. He was a friendly sort for a Grey Warden. Spent most of his nights here drinking. Wasn't ever loud or too forward. Haven't seen him for maybe a week now. Said he was tracking some Darkspawn, one particular group that's been raiding outside the city. He told me they were acting strange, those Darkspawn. Acting obvious, like they wanted to be caught or something. I expect he caught them. Probably why he hasn't been back, right? My pleasure. Send him my best when you see him.
I understand you've been appointed to the post of Warden Commander. I suppose congratulations are in order. I hear the Darkspawn are not retreating as they should. It sounds like the Wardens have their hands full. I'd offer to help, but I'm afraid my presence is required elsewhere. And by then you will no doubt have had this mess sorted out. But we shall see. The College of the Magi is convening in Cumberland, and I must attend. Hopefully, all this will blow over before it's begun. But you have enough on your mind as it is. I shan't trouble you with this further. Very well. Then perhaps you should know that something stirs within the fraternities. The Libertarians wish to pull away entirely from the Chantry. And if they get enough support...
Pull away entirely? That's madness. I hate Chantry oversight as much as the next mage. But they can't just decide to leave. This is a recipe for disaster.
The mages will never be free. The Chantry would never allow it. Our only hope for survival is to show them we can be trusted. Don't you remember what happened to the Circle in Ferelden? Do you want to give the Templars another excuse to call for the culling of all mages? This change cannot be forced. Because the only other option results in genocide. Now, I have a great many preparations to make before I leave for Navarra. But perhaps there is something you can do for me. One of my colleagues, Ines, has spent the last few months in the Wending Wood. The Circle has been unable to reach her, given the trouble in the area. If you happen to find yourself in the wood on your travels, perhaps you could tell her about the meeting of the college. Oh, who knows, rooting around in the dirt for some obscure plant or other, most likely. She has a keen interest in gardening. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant botany. Hobbies and eccentricities aside, Ines is a well-respected mage and a voice of reason, something we could use on our side. But I can't waste any more time. Good luck to you, Warden Commander.
All things in this world are finite. What one man gains, another has lost. Repent and have faith, and you shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The Darkspawn was supposed to go away when the Archdemon died. In Amaranthine, it's worse than before.
May I help you? I am fortunate indeed that the Commander of the Grey has taken a personal interest in this matter. I'm sorry our note was vague, but Amaranthine is a hotbed of Maleficar activity. Details of who and what they were about would undoubtedly get back to them. Apostates and Maleficarum are all too common across the nation, alas. I have worked with an artist to create these sketches of the three suspects. If you could confront them and question them, you would be doing the Maker's work. The sins of man brought the blight to us. And now it's not like Karam to be gone this long. I was sure I would find him at the inn. Example of Andraste and reflect upon the chant of light. Your friends and neighbors would do well to heed this lesson and join.
More enemies ahead. Very well.
Templars. Bloody everywhere. Templars. Bloody everywhere. Must stay sharp.
I can do it.
Yes, everything is fine. Must keep calm, keep normal. Yes, everything is fine.
I think that's where the
Very well.
phylacteries are. It's probably guarded. No guards. Maybe they don't want to draw attention to the cache. Could we be that lucky?
It shall be done.
What's the problem?
And here I almost believed the infamous Anders wouldn't take the bait.
Ah, yes. I suppose I should have known it would be you.
You made a poor choice with this one, Commander. Anders will never submit, not to us and not to you. So far, yes. I'll make sure that this murderer is never a bother to anyone again.
What? No, you can't arrest me! Queen Honora allowed my conscription!
The Chantress' authority supersedes the Crown in this matter. You cannot hide within the Grey Warden's ranks. Hardly surprising. The Grey Wardens have ever been a haven for criminals and Maleficar. I do not know how you inspire such loyalty, Anders, but it will avail you naught. Now you come with us.
And we'll be merciful! I wonder if Nemea knew about this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Thank you. You stood by me, and I appreciate that. I guess they do. Anyhow, let's go before someone else rushes in to waggle a finger at us.
Very well.
Delilah? Is that really you?
Nathaniel! I had feared the worst.
Times must have been hard, Delilah. But you can do better than this. Come back to the estate until we find somewhere else.
What? Oh, Nathaniel, I didn't marry Albert out of desperation. I adore him. I was so glad to get away from Father's evil. This life is so much better.
Father's evil? Isn't that overstating things a little? He got caught up in politics.
You weren't here. You didn't see what he did, Nathaniel. You want the culprit who destroyed our family? It was him, without question.
I had no idea.